Hey, man.
Odd job hats. What sorry, I thought you asked about my hat.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank
I thought
you.
you did too.
What's up?
Happy 4th of July.
Hey, happy 4th of July. How do you celebrate?
By teaching you.
How do you celebrate 4th of July?
4th of July?
Are we hanging out on 4th of July?
We could. Usually, here's what happens. Usually, we go do something with Bree's family.
Okay.
They usually throw like a big thing in someone's backyard and light up a bunch of fireworks.
Yeah.
But that's not always on like actual 4th of July. And so if it's not on an actual 4th of July, then a lot of times the Thomases invite us out to the lake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which you should come. I think we invited you last year and you didn't come.
Yeah, all of our family was in for 4th of July. Like we did that as like our...
Do you usually go see family for 4th of July?
It seems like they're trying to make that the tradition. They're trying to make 4th of July, because it's midsummer. And we did that because my mom's sister was a teacher. And so Thanksgiving, Christmas, the whole stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, and everyone's, Minnesota, Ohio, the whole fam comes down. So I don't know what's going to happen this 4th of July. I guess I'll find out today. Our friend group debated on who in our group has the highest IQs. Yeah. And no one disagreed about who was number one. And Tim's pretty mad about that. Is that what you want? Is that what you want to say? That's what you want on the internet? Here's what I don't like. Sometimes the out of context clips at the beginning are pretty rough.
They are pretty rough.
Things I learned last night.
Hey, man.
So, yeah. What's up? What are you going to teach me about?
Have you ever heard of John Chickie Donohue?
Is Chickie a nickname or is Chickie Donohue the last name?
Donahue is the last name. Chickie is a nickname.
Okay.
So we could... honestly, I'm just going to call him Chickie. Have you ever heard of Chickie Donohue?
No.
Let me ask you this. Well, actually, I'll just show you some pictures.
Oh, no.
Do you recognize this man? This is Chickie.
This guy was in my dreams last night.
This is Chickie Donohue.
Okay.
He's standing on a boat. If
Yeah.
you're listening, picture
Is the
someone
boat
with
relevant?
the last name Donohue. And you're probably pretty close. And the picture's in like the late 60s, early 70s. He's wearing like a plaid shirt.
I don't know what kind
a
of
little
hat that is.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cross between a chef's hat and a taxi driver's hat.
Yeah. He's got a little poof on top.
Yeah, it's a little poofy.
He's got a shirt tucked in, and I'm glad this isn't the style anymore because honestly, he doesn't got the body for it. He's got a...
He's a thin guy, but yeah, he's got a little flat tire there.
Yeah.
Spare tire? The spare tire is the
Spare
word.
tire?
Spare tire is the word, yeah. And then he's got a mustache, a very 70s mustache. Very 70s
Is there an episode
mustache.
of SpongeBob where all the weight goes to like Squidward's hips or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what his body
he
looks
was
like right
eating too
now.
many Krabby Patties.
Yeah. That's what his body looks like right now.
Which I saw this on TikTok the other day. I don't
I'm
know
not
if I
trying to
sent this
body
you.
shame anybody.
It's okay.
I mean, look at we've done how many episodes? 170 something, and I've never commented on yours. So I'm not trying to body shame anybody. And I could have. Right. I could have brought up.
Here's Chickie Donohue now as an old man.
This guy, I love him.
Yeah, I
don't know where he is.
Jolly.
He looks very
He
jolly.
would be Santa at your church. Like
he looks
the
like
guy
he looks like Santa, but he can't grow a beard. You know what I'm saying? He's
Here's another picture of him as an old guy.
Please don't tell me he's like terrible.
This one, he kind of looks like the villain from Holes in this one.
Yeah.
But
that actor who is what's his name?
I don't know.
He's super QAnon-y though.
Oh, well, happy 4th of July.
That actor is. I thought that too when you were like, he looks like that, and I was like, oh, because he's like, isn't he like he's in National Treasure? Isn't he like Nick Cage's dad or something in National Treasure?
In National Treasure. I thought you said he's a National Treasure.
He's in National Treasure.
I was like, why?
No, what's his name? Dadgummit. Anyway, he does like videos where he's talking to the camera and he's just like, our country used to be great.
I can see that for him.
And you're like, well,
I can see that for him.
Before the reptilians
he was
took
a prison
over.
guard.
And you're like, geez, this guy was a prison guard?
No, that guy.
Oh.
In the movie Holes.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a picture of Chickie Donohue as an old man with Zac Efron.
What is going on? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
This is foreshadowing. Okay, so Chickie Donohue, I'll tell you about him.
You know, speaking of body shaming, did you see when Zac Efron's Netflix series came out and people were like, oh, I love him with a dad bod? That's exactly what my response was. People were going crazy. Like, look, Google Zac Efron.
I mean, no, I've seen the show. I watched the series.
Google Zac Efron dad bod. I want that in your search history.
He did not have a dad bod. Zac
Efron biceps.
That's exactly what I was about.
Is that what you typed? Is that what you typed? Oh, man. What's the measurement on his biceps?
I don't know. I could Google that.
Oh, man. So, no, but that's what I'm saying is like he did not have a dad bod.
Do we need to go get a license to get this picture on screen?
No, I was trying to, anyway, he didn't have a dad bod in that Netflix series.
He did not. No, yeah.
Yeah, he's still
ripped.
He's just not dehydrated.
He's just not toned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which what movie actors have to do.
Is sick is what it is. You're sick.
You cannot live like that for more than like a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an unhealthy state.
Yes. So anyway.
Interesting.
That's just what I thought of.
Dad bod.
People were going crazy. They're like, I love his dad bod. And you're like, you have not met a dad.
Okay, so Chickie Donohue.
Okay.
Chickie Donohue was...
I don't like how excited you are. Just want to put that out there right now. Not a fan of the excitement in your face. I'm trying to think of all the Zac Efron movies that have come out lately.
I don't think you've heard of this.
Okay. Chickie Bang Bang or whatever. I don't know.
Chickie Dad bod.
Chickie. Oh, yeah. I do remember that specific movie that we watched.
Okay, no. So, Chickie Donohue.
Dad Bod Boombalati or whatever it's called.
Dad Bod Bob.
Okay.
Okay, so Chickie was a dude who lived in Upper Manhattan.
Sure.
His whole life. But specifically in the early 60s during the Vietnam War. And I don't know if you know a lot about history, but let me tell you something in case you didn't know.
Oh, wait. Did I send you the trailer for this movie?
I don't think so.
Because I don't know the story.
This was a patron recommendation, but I'm going to be honest, I don't remember who recommended it.
But I have seen the trailer. All I know is that Zac Efron accidentally ends up in the middle of the Vietnam War.
It's probably this one.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably this one.
But I thought I sent it to you, and I was like, I'm not going to find out about this. But because any movie lately that just says based on true events, I just send it to you, and I go, I want to know what this event is.
Tell me about it.
If it's good enough to put
to
put Zac Efron in it. That's why I sent you Jurassic Park. I don't know what happened, but I was like,
but I want to know
if they remade it.
If they,
I mean, it's got to be.
It must be a true story.
It says based on true events.
Based on true events.
So, okay, go ahead with the story then. Okay.
So Chickie Donohue, I was alive in the Vietnam War, and in case you didn't know, the Vietnam War was not popular. A lot of people protested it.
Yeah. What years were the Vietnam War? Just for the listener, I know, but.
Just for the people who don't know, I think it was 58 to 64. Let me double check that.
I thought it was after that.
Let me double check. Make sure I'm right on that. Vietnam War was 55 to 75.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dang, that lasted way longer than I thought.
It was the entire 60s.
Shoot. Okay. Yeah. So 55 to 75, and it was a very unpopular war. A lot of people back at the States didn't think we should be there. And so it was protested pretty much the entire length of the war.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a split. Some people thought that we should be, some people thought that they shouldn't.
That was actually a really interesting, was that in Kristen Dumais' book about the Vietnam War split?
I would expect it to be.
Well, it was interesting.
I don't remember it.
The split of, because the people who got sent off to war were, because we didn't do a huge draft for that. There was a draft, but it wasn't like the scale that like World War II was.
Yeah.
And so the people who were getting drafted, people who can get out of drafts have money.
Yeah.
And have, resources and lawyers and reasons to get out of drafts or whatever. Yeah. And so it was predominantly blue collar kids who were going off to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And then the rich kids were at home protesting that. And so it became a class division between, the rich kids are here protesting. Well, my son's out fighting this stupid war.
Yeah.
And so it became a clashing point for patriotism.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, it's just, I remember reading that.
That does sound like a point in our book that I don't remember. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just the difference between maybe the way my brain processes information and the way that your brain processes. Our friend group did a terrible thing to us. And I think they might have
haven't recovered.
They might have done this on purpose.
They might have.
They're trying to drive a wedge between us.
They might be. What's frustrating is,
So here's the question, and we're just going to put it out there. And by the time that you hear this, we'll probably have resolved this with professional testing
and counseling.
But our friend group debated on who in our group has the highest IQs, and no one disagreed about who was number one. And Tim's pretty mad about that.
What's frustrating is we've had this conversation before, and I've always come out on number one.
Who?
The four of us.
We've had this
conversation, and I wasn't number one. Around. And then you come around, and now all of a sudden, there's a new number one in town. Mm-hmm. And I don't like it.
When did you have this conversation? Was I included in the ranking during those conversations? No,
you were not included. It was another time we were hanging out.
And different time.
It was another time we were hanging out, and it came up. And I think Bree, again, was trying to drive a wedge between everyone.
Sure. She does like to do that. That's the reason we can't have a solid friend group is Tim's wife.
It's like, hey, which one of you are dumb?
She's got some internal jealousy thing going on.
Who do all of you think is the dumbest here?
Yeah, you're going to have a really tough dynamic with your children.
Yeah, we're going to ask them that every month.
But anyway, that's all I was saying.
If we just look at this past month, who here is the dumbest?
So, anyway, Vietnam War is going on.
Yes, Vietnam War is going on.
It's deeply unpopular.
Very unpopular. And one night in November,
because America did not have a reason to be there. It was. We can get into all that stuff.
They had a reason,
but it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah.
So it's November.
We had a reason to be in Iraq as well. And that's.
It's November. They're in Manhattan, and Chickie is at a local bar.
Sure.
It was a bar called
O'Malley's.
The Doc Fiddlers. Doc Fiddlers Pub.
Anyway.
Close. Doc Fiddlers Pub.
Sure.
And it's the bartender there who's manning the show.
Sure.
He's a former Marine. Everybody there calls him the Colonel.
Yeah.
He was never a colonel, but everyone calls him that.
I'd love to enlist.
Yeah.
Just to have just to get called Sarge.
We can make that your title.
I'm thinking about stealing some valor just to get the nickname. You know what I'm saying? Oh man!
I put that on a wedding. I should say I put that. Hold on. Let me rewind a little bit. I didn't put that, but on a wedding like RSVP.
Oh yeah. Did you put doctor or whatever?
No, I put judge because it said it has a drop down menu for all your prefixes,
which is also stolen valor.
Judges, you can steal that value.
Yeah, who cares?
What do? They just.
What's the line? Military is the line.
They're glorified kidnappers.
The military?
I guess both.
Okay. So he's the colonel.
He's the colonel, but he's not a colonel.
Running the ship.
I think he was like the highest he ever got was private first class. But everyone called him a colonel.
Is that relevant at all? Or is you just really want to bring this guy down? Is it relevant to the story?
It's not relevant.
Okay, great. The highest he ever got was private first class. I mean, he only got out of high school because the military was like, yeah, you're graduated, you're coming with us.
Yeah, you're coming. Yeah.
He was kind of dumb. His IQ pretty low.
Yeah. All of his friends agreed. He's number 6 on the list.
Nobody argued that he was near the top.
You just got to see the guy carry water.
That's why I'm like, why are you bringing this guy up? So he runs the bar.
So he's running the bar. And outside, this is Vietnam War era, right? Outside is a protest in the war.
That's all they
and
did.
The colonel's in there. He's washing his glasses, and he's talking to Chickie Donohue. And he's like, man, look at all these commies out here protesting the war. He's like, someone's got to do something about this. He's like, our soldiers are out there. They're overseas. They're fighting for our freedom.
That's what I'm saying.
And ain't nobody supporting them. Everyone's back here doing this.
And that was the resentment that the blue collar class.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Exactly. And Chickie and this guy are in like a flywheel, like revving each other up, right?
So Chickie's like, yeah,
someone's got to do something for this.
Kill all of them.
No. So Chickie's like, yeah, someone should buy him a beer. And he's like,
what?
He's like,
oh yeah, dude. All these people who are like against the war should get free beer. He's just all of his friends outside. He's like, yeah, we should buy them beers. And you know what we should also do? We should give them $100 each. And this is important. You know, and like let's pay off all their debt. And you know,
what if we just did all these nice things for them?
Tell the hottest girl in the bar to go kiss him on the lips.
No, he wasn't talking about the people outside. He was talking about the soldiers.
Don't write that down, Alex. Don't write that down. Here's what I don't like. Sometimes the out of context clips at the beginning are pretty rough.
They are pretty rough. Okay, no, he wasn't talking about the people. He wasn't talking about the protesters. He was talking about soldiers. He said someone needs to buy our soldiers a beer so they know there's people back home who support them.
Sure.
And the colonel's like, yeah, someone needs to go buy those guys a beer. They need to know, they need to understand that they're important to everyone. And Chickie was like, yeah. And then the conversation, just kind of fizzled. And the night goes on.
Then he goes, hey, I got you a plane ticket to Vietnam. You're going to go buy him some beers.
He goes home. And he comes back the next day. And he comes in there. And the mom of one of his childhood friends who's serving in Vietnam is there at the bar. And the colonel's like, hey, Chickie. He's like, check it out. He's like, I got Tom's mom here. I told him you're going out there. You're going to visit him. You're going to check on him, make sure he's okay. And Chickie was like, what?
Oh, no.
And so Tom's
mom is like, would you take him this blanket from his childhood, please?
And so Chickie was like, yeah, I did say I was going to do that. I'll find... He was a trade merchant, and so he was a sailor. He sailed, and he had taken a couple of trips out to Vietnam to do deliveries. He'd been a couple times, and so he just was like, "Yeah,
have you been?
I'm going to do that." No,
okay. No, I was just asking.
You know what my Twitter bio is?
Such a hard left turn, indicative of a low IQ. That's me I'm breaking the fourth wall.
I know what you're doing here. I know, it's whatever, knock on the middle thing.
Sorry, trying to explain it to you. Go ahead, what is your Twitter bio?
My Twitter bio is just, I've never been to Italy. And I think that's the funniest thing in the world.
Are you hoping to just one day change it?
No. I just think it's a really funny thing. Like someone's like, hey, tell me about yourself. I've never been to Italy.
My Facebook bio, this is real, on my Facebook page, because like on the Facebook page, the layout's different. It's not prominent.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They changed it every once in a while, and every once in a while my bio will pop up, and I forgot that years ago, I wrote, knows someone who knows Nelly's uncle.
Who's Nelly?
Nelly?
Oh, like the rapper Nelly?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Nelly Bly.
Nelly is from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And so one of the Starbucks baristas was like, yeah, I'm actually like kind of friends with his uncle. And I was like, I know someone who knows Nelly's uncle. Anyway.
That's so dumb.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. If you like this one, or if you don't like this one, there's so many other ones. All right, if you're halfway through this one and you're like, I hate this, I want out, go check out the Richmond TV Vigilante. It's an episode we did a while ago. It's a little bit of a shorter one, but one morning in Richmond, Virginia, people wake up with just TVs on their front porch. No idea where they came from until one person checked their Ring doorbell footage and got a decent surprise. So Richmond TV Vigilante is a great episode if you're going to go check that out later. But for now, back to this one.
So Chickie...
I've been to Italy.
Have you?
No.
I didn't think so. So Chickie's like, yeah, I'll do it. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll do it.
Just on like I guess I'll go, like, how old is he at this point?
I mean, you saw him in that picture. I don't know how old he was at the time. I would guess, I don't know, 30?
Okay.
How old do you think this guy's?
30 years old?
Yeah, probably. How old do you think that guy is?
35
We can
at
actually-
least.
we can
I don't
actually
want to
find
be the
out for
same
sure.
age as this guy.
This guy he was born in 41. This happened in November of 67. So he was 26. This keeps happening. This has happened to me like 6 times this
This
week.
keeps happening to us where we go, frick, dude, that. Dude, we look good. You know, like we look fine. We look fine.
Yeah, we don't look like... I don't want to body shame.
No, I'm not even talking about his body. I'm talking about the whole aura of
Everything
this picture.
about...
Hands on the hips.
That is one thing, though, we have to
the
recognize.
mustache. Yeah.
I've thought about this a lot. Like
a
a lot.
lot.
The reason this looks old to us is because these people still dress like this, and that is equated
might
to old
be accurate
to us.
Do you think we're still going to dress like this when we're like?
I'm curious, like when
Old?
we get old, like is our style, like are skinny jeans going to make people think of 75-year-olds? Like, they're like, look at that old dude in his skinny jeans.
wearing women's pants.
His skinny jeans.
No one
and
wears jeans anymore, man.
and his oily beard.
No one covers their knees anymore, man. Let those knees breathe. The science is clear.
No one wears clothes anymore, man. Look at that old guy in his
You
clothes.
joke. You joke, but that might be where our society goes. So he's 26 years old. This is what I'm saying. It's on not on a whim, but like kind of.
It's almost a bar bet, honestly.
Yeah, where it's just like, hey, man. Well, and also you're pressured by Tom's mom.
Yeah, the Colonel. I love the Colonel left that night. And
Tommy's
let's be honest,
mommy over
let's
here.
be honest here. Let's remember this picture real quick.
Yeah.
The Colonel's the bartender.
Yeah.
Chickie is a patron.
Left. Called Tom's mom.
Yeah. And
was like-
you got to think like,
He was like, hey,
he's the sober-minded one in
Mama
this situation.
Tama, you got to come down here tomorrow.
He's like, tomorrow, come out to the Chickie will be here in the afternoon. I got a special surprise for you.
He's going.
And so Chickie's like, I guess I'll figure it out. And so he went back to the trade union and he was like, hey, do we got any ships doing any deliveries out to Vietnam anytime soon? And they're like, well, what do you know? We got one leaving in 2 weeks. You want to be a part of that job mission? I don't know. What do they call that in the trade
Mission? What do they trade? What are they doing? What's his job?
It's just a merchant ship. And so it's just got a bunch of containers that they're
Yeah, but
just
what's his
delivering out there.
job?
He's a merchant. He's a trade merchant.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. He rides
That
boats.
sounds like a job from the 1300s.
He
What are you
rides
talking
boats.
about?
I don't know. Maybe he loads the crates onto the boats and then gets there and loads them off. And then,
He's an Amazon
Sell some
delivery
stuff?
driver from the 60s?
yeah, for the ocean, for over the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so he gets a trip to Vietnam.
Over the ocean and through the waves to Vietnam we go.
So he lands this job it was a ship that was traveling from New York to
Vietnam. Just say Vietnam. We all get it.
Vietnam, but the city is
You don't got to try.
QAnon, and
Okay.
that's not a joke. It's QAnon. The city is QAnon.
Okay.
It's QUI space NHON. I think it's just QAnon.
Okay.
Is my guess. But anyways, so that's where he's docking. And he came with a burlap sack with 18 loose cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Loose cans. Hold on.
He's got like this.
Does he know how many soldiers are over there? Because he's just like, I've got a bag of beers. What is this? A loaded up Brahms? You can't bring a bag of beers.
He's not going to give beers to all the
He's just
Vietnam
looking
soldiers.
for Tom's mom's
He's looking
son.
for 4 specific soldiers. I hate the way you winked at me when you made that joke.
I didn't even mean to. That's just something's been happening lately. I've been making little stupid little jokes and I wink after.
He's been looking for 4 specific people who are from his area in Manhattan, his neighborhood.
He's going to give
He
them
knows
2.5
them.
beers each.
He knows them all. So he's
4.5 beers each.
He's looking for a Tom Collins,
Okay.
who is a member of the 127th Military Police Company. And then he's looking for Kevin McLoone, Rick Duggan, who I don't know what company they're a part of, and Bobby Papas. Also don't know.
And
what
what's he just
company
landing
he's
and
in.
being like, hey, I got a list of names and I've got a special delivery for him.
That's the thing. He doesn't really have a plan. He knows how he's going to try to trick the military. And so what he's going to do is he's like, I'm going to land to do my merchanting. And then I'm going to go find the U.S. outpost in that city. And I'm going to be like, hey, I'm looking for my brother Tom. He serves. Our mom just died. I'm coming to let him know the news. And like be with him.
But don't
in this
tell him
tough
before
time.
I get there, please. I
get to
want
say
to
it.
surprise him.
It's a surprise. Surprise!
I want to see the joy in
Bad
his
news,
eyes.
Tom.
Please don't ruin it.
What's in the bag, son?
What's in the bag? Her ashes.
It's those things.
When you're looking at a burlap sack with beers in it, it's kind of lumpy. There's just you can see the cans in the burlap sack.
Well, that's why I wasn't gonna go ashes. I was gonna go confetti poppers.
Oh yeah. We really hated her.
Did not like her. No, so he lands. He finds this outpost, and he sees one of the military police guys with the patch on his shoulder that says 127. He's like, that's Tom's outfit. And so he says, hey, he said, I know Tom Collins. He is a military policeman with you guys. Is that how you say that?
So
He's one of you.
okay.
And he tells him the
With you
sob story.
guys. He's with you guys.
He tells him the sob story with his little burlap sack of beers, dressed in his weird hat and his
And they go, well, you go
Plaid
tell your
shirt.
dad.
to
he
send a
died
letter
too.
like everyone else. So
Sorry about your mom and your brother.
and your brother. Sorry, we haven't sent the letter yet.
It's on my desk. I meant to send it yesterday.
Yeah, but procrastination.
I'm so unorganized. I'm really
so
sorry.
slammed lately.
Forgot.
Yeah. So he tells him the sob story, and the military police guy believes him.
Great.
And he's like, cool, let me go show you where Tom's quarters are.
What's your name? Flom.
Phil
Collins. Anyway, this is so stupid.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Mom's dead.
She died doing what she loved. Oh man, I hate this. Golly, man. Mom's dead.
And so,
Oh no.
the police guy shows him to Tom's quarters.
What are you doing?
It's so funny to me. The police guy shows him to Tom's quarters, and he walks in the room, and Tom like double takes, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Because like they're childhood
Are you a
friends.
ghost?
And the military police officer leaves. He's like, I'll give you guys a moment. And then
Thank you.
he
He said,
takes
"Thank
down
you."
his burlap sack, lays it on the bed, and opens it up, and it's just 18 Pabst Blue Ribbons.
Because you get 4 of these.
And he's like, I came here to have a beer with you. And he was like, what? And so he told him about the whole meeting with
He's
his
like,
mom.
yeah,
and
the colonel and made me do it. And
Yeah.
anyway, I don't have anything better to do.
So they drank all the beers.
You got anything going on? Yeah, I'm kind of at war right now.
a little busy,
man. Tell me
Tom.
about that, man. The other night I went on a date and like he's just trying to compare life problems. Yeah.
No, yeah. So the two of them, they drank all the beers.
Wow.
And then they went and they found some of Tom's buddies, and they went out on the town in Nam, and they went to like some
Hey
local
guys,
bar.
we're celebrating.
Yeah.
Mom's dead.
Yeah, the other military police guy was like, man, weird grieving.
I love your music.
I'm a huge fan. So they're going out in the town, right? They're doing their thing. They're at, I don't know, clubs.
Sure.
They're walking in, VIP, you know the thing. It's kind of hard not to get seated at VIP when you and your 12 of your closest buddies walk in with M16s. Like,
Yeah.
so they're
That's something
partying.
you want out there, isn't it? Is that what you want? Is that what you want to say? That's what you want on the internet?
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be out of context.
You want special treatment at a restaurant? Walk in with huge guns. The audio listener, it's Zac Efron's bicep on the screen. Very funny. Very funny. What do you think that measurement is, though? We should Google that.
Yeah, we should look it up. So they're out partying,
They're
right?
VIPing.
They're having a good time. And while he's at this club, there's another group of Vietnam.
VIPs.
I guess they're not veterans yet. Vietnam soldiers, but they're for the U.S. American soldiers.
Okay.
And so they're there in the club, and he notices that they're wearing the same patch of the next two guys on his list, Kevin McLoone and Rick Duggan.
And he's like, hey, I'm their brother.
So he does the same thing. He goes up to them at the bar, and he said, "Hey, I'm looking for Rick Duggan." He chooses just one of them. He said, "I'm looking for Rick Duggan. I'm his brother. Our mother passed away. I'm trying to find him. Can you get me to him?" And he said, "Oh yeah, he's way up on the north end of Vietnam." He's like, "But we're going up there in the morning." He's like, "If you could be at the tarmac at 0800 hours tomorrow, I'll give you a lift." And he's like, "Deal." And so the next morning, he wakes up, doesn't have any more beer. And he hitches a ride.
Well, it's good. You can't bring that amount of fluid on a plane.
He shows up. He hitches this ride up to this area called Shaw Valley.
Okay.
And this was an interesting spot in 67.
So he just leaves Tom.
yeah, he's like, "Hey, we
He's
had
like,
a good
hey,
night.
Tom, I got you a drink.
I got you.
My life mission is done. Good luck with whatever you're doing.
Yeah. I hope you have a good one. I don't know
Politically,
what
I
to
don't
say
agree
now.
with any of this, but I'm glad you're here.
But yeah, I mean, I hope it's all good for you. So he goes to the Shaw Valley, and the Shaw Valley at the time was the northern front of the war. So they hadn't explored this northern end of Vietnam yet,
Right.
and so there was kind of this. I don't want to say like northern offensive, but it kind of was. They were like pushing through the jungle and setting up little outposts here and there as they made it through. And it was very uncharted territory. I mean, the Vietnam War, there was tunnels and there was bombs and there was hidden stuff. Like it was tough to move
Tunnels
through.
and bombs, oh my.
It was tough to move through the jungle before it was like charted. So it was a very dangerous side of Vietnam.
Sure.
Chickie lands in the
There's
city.
no real going out and going to the VIP section.
This is not going to be this part of the trip.
Yeah.
And so Chickie lands in the town, and he goes to like a convenience store and picks up a new case of beer because he used it all on the first person. So he picks up some more beers, some local stuff this time, I guess. And
Pabst
I'm guessing
Red Ribbon. It's not our best,
but it's
there.
second best.
Sure.
What's the order?
You
of the
know
ribbons?
a lot about red ribbons, don't you?
What's the order? Shut up. I never understood the point of that. Like, why is the best ribbon blue when everything else it's gold?
I don't know.
I don't understand why they did that.
I don't know. Maybe you can do an episode on it. One of us Google stuff.
What am I going to do when Google dies?
Chat GBT.
So he lands and he goes to the military outpost and he tells them the sob story.
Sure.
And the guy was like, the guy kind of looks at him and there's a documentary where Chickie was like, I don't know what it was about this guy, but I felt like he knew I was lying and I felt like I could trust him. So I just was like, here's the truth. He's like, I'm just out here trying to have a beer with these guys. And the guy was like, that's cool. And then he radios up to the guy.
Okay. Well, it's okay.
So he radios up to them.
No, hey man, no. I'm not sorry. I think of the wrong idea. I'm just trying to have a beer with the pilot. Like, just let me on the plane. Let me on the plane. I'm trying to have a beer with the pilot.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, no, I don't really have an appointment or reason to be here. Sorry, I hopped the fence. I'm just here to have a beer with Joey B.
I just feel like a lot of people aren't supporting him.
I just feel like
show that
his
there's people
ratings are
here
pretty low.
who care about him.
You know, and like I disagree with a lot, but like I just want to have a beer.
I just want to show him that we support. What kind of beer did you bring?
Pabst Red Ribbon.
Red Ribbon. I didn't know they had a second place.
Well,
Pabst won the Blue Ribbon once years ago.
Yeah,
and they haven't let it go.
They really rode with it too. They quit making anything else. They're like, this is it.
This is our Blue Ribbon. We got it once. That's like if we still talked about how we're Kansas City's best local podcast.
When did we win that?
2021.
Oh, that's still recent enough. Who won it last year?
I don't know. We haven't been on the list the past 2 years. I've checked each time.
Yeah, but
voting's going on right now.
It's like you enter yourself.
I don't know who entered us. We didn't enter us.
Someone did.
Yeah. We should enter ourselves next time.
Okay.
We should enter ourselves every time because we're a shoe-in.
We could also we're a media company.
TILLN Blue Ribbon.
I was going to say, we could just make up an award and give it to ourselves.
That's what most awards are.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so they called Rick.
Sure.
Rick Dugan on the radio. And they said, hey, we need you to come back to base.
An emergency.
Yeah. And he was nervous about it because now he's going to have to travel 500 meters, which isn't that long.
Through a minefield.
But through a minefield in the jungle.
Yeah.
And it's tough terrain. And so he's like, I gotta take this trip alone. So he takes this trip alone through all this tough terrain.
How bad is it though?
And
if he doesn't make it through? You know, if you're like, I'm just here to have a beer with my
back home
buddy,
to the pub,
and you're like,
all the moms are there waiting.
yeah, he would have been fine if it wasn't for you and your stupid Red Ribbon beer. So he makes
would have brought a Blue Ribbon beer.
He makes it through their minefield.
He makes it through the minefield. He gets back to camp and he's like, Sergeant,
guys,
what did you
what's
need
the
me here
emergency?
for? And he's like, why'd you call me back? And the sergeant
and then his
was
friend, then here comes Chickie around the corner, is like, hey, and he goes, who's this guy? Doesn't recognize him at all. It's been a long war, you know. And he goes, okay. No, oh yeah. Chickie.
That's how we got the nickname. He was like, Chickie, you're so funny.
You're so funny.
No, he shows back up. He's like, Sergeant, why'd you call me back in? And he's like, oh, I didn't call you. That guy did. And then there's Chickie Donohue. And he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I came to have a beer with you and Kevin. Kevin's up at the camp. And he's like, well, all right.
Okay.
And he's like, bring your case. He's like, we're going. And so he leads him through this minefield. Meanwhile, Chickie...
Through a minefield?
Yeah, he leads him back to their camp.
Okay.
And so Chickie is still wearing his...
regular old clothes.
His blue jeans and his little hat, his weird chef hat thing. Total sore thumb in this combat scenario. He gets up to the camp. They make it.
Spoiler,
they made it. And they had beers. While they were out there, they're like, yeah, we probably shouldn't like have you out here just like dressing like you're dressing. So they gave him a jacket at least, so he could fit in. But he's got his little white jeans.
He's got his khakis on still. Yeah.
And all of them are out there, and they had some canned food. that they give the soldiers, and he got to eat that, and he said it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And he stayed the night with him. And it was a night that he talks about as
It was
being...
Purina 2 is what they were eating out there. You know, it was basically
We
this
got Pabst
dog
Red
food.
Ribbon and Purina 2.
Purina 2, baby. And goodbye, Fresh.
Hey, thanks again for watching this episode. If you're enjoying it and you're enjoying TILLN, you've been around for a little bit, I want to invite you to be a part of our Patreon. We have a Patreon that has early access to all of our episodes, ad-free content, both audio and video. We have a Discord with our hosts and producers. That's a ton of fun, getting to hang out with all of our patrons in there. We also do once a month now, we do these live streams with our patrons. We hang out, we get to know each other, we eat pizza. It's a blast, along with a bunch of other benefits like merch discounts, message on your birthday, like fun stuff. It's definitely worth it. We're having a blast with our patrons. But if that doesn't sound like something for you, then get the heck out of here. Just kidding. No, we love you. Thanks for checking out TILLN Podcast. How do they get it though? I realized I forgot to put a CTA in mine.
Oh,
While you were doing
gummit.
that. Yeah.
They can text TILLN to 66866.
Thanks, Jared. So he spends the night with them.
Yeah.
And this is a very different experience than the last guy he shared a beer with.
Okay.
Because now they're drinking beer, but they're also
In war.
in the jungle, like actually in war now. Like they're in the jungle. They've got tents set up. And
He's like, so you guys like go out in the town? And they're like, no, we blew up
was
that
like-
town. Like, oh, okay.
there's no war town.
Yeah, we don't do that out here.
And so he got a tour of the camp. He's like, here's the camp, here's our ambush perimeter. And a couple of times over the night, like they did get ambushed and there was a firefight. And he said, Chickie in his documentary, he's like, that's the moment when I was like, I think I
Why
made a
am I
mistake
here?
doing this. I don't know if I should be here.
Yeah, no. Also, all the soldiers felt that way too. They were like, if I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't be here.
Why am I here?
That's 100%. You know, they're like, frick, man.
And so he stays the night with them, and it was a stressful night, a very tense combat night. But he makes it through the night. And in the morning, spent all the beers again, all the Pabst Red Ribbon, and then he gets escorted back to camp, rides the plane back down to QAnon. And along that trip, somehow he found word that Bobby Pappas, which sounds like a fake. That Bobby Pappas sounds
like a pizza joint in Chicago.
I can see that. I was gonna say sounds like a character from Backyard Baseball.
Oh yeah, that's true. Bobby Pappas. Now,
Bobby
what did the voice actor in Backyard Baseball sound like?
I mean, they sound like little children.
Now I'm playing
Bobby Pappas.
Sure. But you know that guy came back from Vietnam and opened an Italian restaurant and like did very well.
Did very, very well. Yeah.
He's the hero of his small town.
Yep. Which
He employs all the high schoolers.
his small town was Manhattan. That's where he was from. I'm just a small town boy from
Just a small town guy from Manhattan.
the biggest town.
The big one. But I'm a small town. I relate.
I relate to small town life, dirt roads,
Yeah.
cowboy hats. It's who I am.
I have an Italian restaurant, but I've never been to Italy. Just a little fun thing about me. How would you describe yourself in a sentence? I've never been to Italy.
So he gets down there and he manages to get a lift up to the camp outside of Saigon.
Sure.
To see Bobby Pappas. And again, found some beer. They have their beers, whatever. They're hanging out and he asks them how things were going up on the northern front. And Chickie, he was like, he didn't know the answer to the question, but they're just hanging out. They're having some beers. And so he's just like said something. And so what he told him is he said, that was just to get to the negotiation table. He's like, we're on the tail end of this thing. They're figuring it out right now.
Oh no.
It's 67. It goes until 75.
Yeah.
And they're not close to figuring it out. And so he
But
lied.
Chickie takes that back.
And so Chickie, whatever, they did their thing. The next day, he gets a ride back down to Saigon, so he could catch the return trip of his ship. Was
Sure.
finally unloaded.
How long was this trip?
It took a long time for them to unload this thing because he wasn't there to help unload.
Yeah, they were like, okay.
Every day
just
they're like, "Where's Chickie?"
One guy is pushing all these things. He's
And
like,
they all say team lift. They all say team lift, and he's just solo lifting them.
and he's got like that. He's got like that belt, you know, and he's out here.
He's
freaking
so
just,
jacked. It's been 2 weeks, and he's just ripped.
Yeah.
His biceps. You will never imagine what his biceps were. He got back and everybody talked about his dad bod, though.
Oh my gosh, people just are so ruthless, man. Leave that up the rest of the time. I'm just joking. Don't get that out of here. Okay, so how long was this trip, though? The duration of this whole thing?
At this point, a few weeks, like 3 weeks probably. At this
Wow,
point, like
okay.
he'd been there for a little bit. When he gets back into Saigon, he's getting ready to load into the return ship. And then the sky lights up back over at the ammo depot where Bobby's at.
Oh no!
And they got raided, and they actually ended up overtaking this ammo supply shop. It wasn't a shop; it was a camp.
Yeah. This
Hey, welcome to the ammo store.
supply trailer. It was just like a little setup in like a Walmart parking lot, and they've got a little trailer. They converted it. It was used to be a horse trailer. They converted it into a ammo shop.
They had it was a tent, and it had American flags all over the top of it. And
You've seen them in your town. Ammo supply stores.
ammo supply.
And it's like if you go there, they give you like rockets included, and if you buy the big package items, they'll throw in a couple rockets.
You bought a bunch of ammo, some rockets, and they're like, "Hey, you want to take some pop snaps?"
Yeah. Hey, on me. You know, some little snappers scare the enemy.
Have you seen those prank videos where people take take their spouse's shoes and tape all those pop snaps, like the Pop Dragon snaps, on the bottom of their shoes, and then just lay them back down? And so then
No, I'm not on that side of the internet that does fake pranks.
People
I don't know
slide
what
their
you-
shoes
and
on and
they're
they
like,
pop
They
snap.
promote and they go, oh, whoa, what is going? Whoa, you know, and the wife is like,
Yeah, it's kids YouTube.
and it gets like freaking 14 billion views, and they make so much freaking money.
Yeah, it's kids
I'm
YouTube.
not resentful about it at all. You know how you feel about being second place for the IQ stuff for our
Yeah.
stuff? That's how I feel about those YouTubers.
Yeah, you
I
feel
look at
second
some of the
place for
other
those
channels
YouTubers?
that work a quarter of as hard as we do.
Yeah.
And I go, frick them, man.
Yeah, if you're hearing this, here's what we need you to do if you're listening. We need you to buy 24 cell phones and just play our show nonstop.
24 cell phones.
24 cell phones.
Great. Here's the thumbnail for this week's video. Ready? You got to do it too.
Yeah. Hold on, let me move this.
Great.
And it's going to say, we told all our followers to buy 24 cell phones and watch this nonstop.
Here's what happened. I built an ammo shop in our garage, and no one knew until we got raided.
So Chickie is like, I got to go back to Bobby. I got to go make sure Bobby's all right. And so
What's Chickie gonna do?
So he hitchhikes.
Like, no, for real though, what's he gonna do? So he's on his
hitchhikes up to
merchant
the
thing.
ammo
He
shop.
sees a big explosion in the sky, and he's like, I, Chickie, need to go see if Bobby, an actual soldier,
Bobby
is
Popeyes.
fine.
So he hitchhikes up to the ammo supply shop
Place.
and he gets there,
The ammo outlet.
and Bobby just grills him. He's like, "You shouldn't be here." He's like, "You got to get out of here." He's like, "You told me that this was almost over. You told me that we figured this out. Did this look almost over to you?" And Chickie was like, "Sorry, man, I was just making conversation. Like,
Bro, I was just small talking.
It's just small talk. I know how to answer how's the weather. I don't know how to answer how's the war."
Okay.
Bobby was okay, but they did lose the depot. I think that's the word, ammo depot. There it is.
We lost the depot by my house.
What's the theme song?
Built tough.
That's Ford.
Oh, sorry. You can do it. We might help unless
Get more doing.
we go out of
That's what they
business
say, right?
and get removed from your community. No, that's not even the depot I lost. I'm not talking about Home Depot.
Wait, what depot?
We lost Office Depot by my house.
There's just more like a
Banjos? So wait, I just want to make sure. Office Depot's music is banjos.
Yeah. It's a traditional office. Staplers.
Our music
We
is
got better.
just as outdated as our technology.
We got better staplers than staples. Oh, what's the? Oh gosh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
No, you don't have 2 seconds.
We are the Sugar Bomb Boys. We are the Sugar Bomb Boys. Oh no, it's Green Meadow. We
are the Green Meadow Boys. What
we
a
are the Green Meadow
callback.
Boys.
If you've not listened to the Kelly Hopkinsville Encounter episode,
Is that episode?
yeah,
Dang,
I know.
that's
I know
deep.
what our episodes are. That's part of having a big brain.
I drank a Red Bull today.
We knew.
I asked you to bring it up naturally. So now here I am bringing it up
And
unnaturally.
if you could use promo code TIM10, I know it's pretty difficult. TIM10.
No, Mikey on YouTube mentioned that he likes energy drink Tim.
Who?
Mikey.
Oh.
And so I
you did it. I know.
I drank this.
You didn't
I
need
wanted
to.
the Celsius. We didn't have any, so I drank a Red Bull instead.
That's great. So Bobby's ticked.
Yeah, Bobby's mad at him. And so he's like, you got to get out of here. So he hitchhikes back down to Saigon.
He's like, well, I was just coming to make sure you're okay. I'm fine.
That's the thing. Everybody's like, you shouldn't be here.
Hey, we're not in time for beer buddies.
Yeah, this isn't like your friend works at Pizza Hut and you
And
went
you're
to
just
visit
going,
him.
stopping him on the shift. Yeah.
Because that's inappropriate
Hey,
too.
let me know when you're under 10. I got some beers that I just came over to surprise you at work.
Yeah. Which is also like, it's like, you should have done that.
Can you get Rick
not
to
do
come
that
back
again?
from the jungle real quick? And Rick works his way through a Vietnam minefield, comes back and is like, what was the emergency? And so he's like, there's no emergency. But this guy's here, and it's someone dressed as a giant heart, and it's one of those singograms. And it's like, hey, Rick, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? My heart beats for you. This is from Susan, and she wanted you to know, even though you're at war and you're saving the world, you've already saved her world. And then that guy gets shot immediately because he's literally a giant red target. So the singogram, I mean, they had hazard pay. They got paid a lot more.
They did make a lot more in Vietnam, at least.
In Vietnam. Vietnam currency, though. They got paid in whatever Viet cash is, right?
They got paid in Pabst Red Ribbon.
Yeah. And they got to convert that into US dollars.
Nowadays, it's super rare. They don't even make them anymore. So if you could sell that on the aftermarket, value's
Yeah,
gone
but you got to
up.
watch out because Pabst CEO, he's like a whole...
He's buying them up.
He's going to play hardball.
He's trying to
He's
hide
going to
them.
put you out of business.
Yeah.
is what he's gonna do.
He's going to crush you like the swine
Yeah,
you
I'm
are.
the Pabst outlaw. So anyway...
Anyways, so Chickie goes back to Saigon.
You know me,
And-
a regular Pabstist.
And the boat's gone. The boat left without him. They were
Oh
like,
yeah, that guy was ticked, dude. That guy who unloaded the whole thing.
Get out of here.
He's sitting over here. He's like,
Chickie can stay. He's like, at least I look good.
we gotta go. He doesn't even look good. It's just his back,
He's got
his scrawny arms, but his back is freaking
back is
huge,
shredded,
bro. He's like freaking like he can pop his own back just with his muscles. Yeah, but his arms are just like
His
little.
arms are little like noodles.
They look like yours.
Yeah. We should measure our biceps after this.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Chickie, he goes back to the boat. I
You want to go downstairs and bench press right now?
Tell you
Do you want to go downstairs and bench press
Is there
right
a
now?
bench press here?
No, it was a callback to 7 years ago in our friendship.
I do. Yeah.
8 years ago in our friendship.
Yeah. What did I say to you?
10 years ago in our friendship. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that actually was, yeah.
Wow.
With Raj, right?
Yeah. You made it. That was the one time you made a fat joke to me. And I was like, I can outlift you. Easy. Let's do it.
Yeah, and
I
I
got
had a
really
bench press in my
defensive.
basement.
And then you were like,
Yeah, I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know you that well yet.
yeah. And I was like, I'm really insecure.
Yeah. I didn't know you well enough to stab you like that.
Yeah. Now we know each other well enough that you can literally stab me. It's a fun little joke we do. So anyway, the boat's gone. So now he's in Vietnam.
Yeah. So long story short, he ends up stuck in Vietnam, which is the sequel to the movie that he made about this whole thing, Stuck in Vietnam. But yeah, he's stuck there for 4 months.
4 months. Where does he go? Does he go back to Bobby Pappas?
No, he stayed on the
Where the dock is?
Yeah, he stayed in like one of the military camps, the American military camps, and they just kind of looked out for him for a little bit.
He just came over and he's like, "Hey guys,
my mom died, so I thought I'd come."
He's just telling every person,
to
"Hey,
Vietnam to
your
tell my
mom died, and so I was just here to tell you that. Could I stay with you tonight?"
And so because he missed it, he had to wait a little while to get a passport and a visa through the U.S. consulate in Vietnam, so he could leave like a normal civilian would leave. And he finally got all that sorted out, got a flight, and the day of his flight out of Saigon, the Tet Offensive began, which was a massive thing that was involved Saigon. And so the flights got grounded and he couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Long story short, eventually he was able to become an oiler on a merchant ship. And so he was just applying for jobs. He's like, I guess this is my life now. And he happened to apply for a job where he could go back to New York on a boat.
And immediately quits. He's like, no. Where do you see yourself? Like, do you want to work for this company for like 5 years? Yeah. I really want to work my way up.
Yeah, I really believe in
First trip, they landed in New York and he's like, I quit.
It hasn't even docked yet.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, you can't get off the boat. We don't let quitters off the boat.
Yeah. He jumps off the boat mid-sea.
In the Hudson. You should have seen him land.
In the Hudson. He looks over and he's like, Sully? I have bad news about your mom.
So he finally arrives in New
York.
York.
Move your mic one more time. Just move it again. Thank you.
So he arrives in New York on April Fool's Day, 1968.
When did he leave?
Mid-November, 1967.
In month to a month.
Exactly. And he goes back and he tells the colonel, hey, I did it. And the colonel gets everyone's moms to show up so he can tell them, hey,
you're all alive.
You're all good. And your kids are all good.
Except for Bobby, he's a little mad.
Bobby's pretty mad at me. But it was a huge success. And a few years later,
what are they sending him off on beer tours now?
They're like, yeah, what other war do you want to go to?
We like that. Do it again.
Pick a war, go to one. And so in 1970, he bought the pub, Doc Fiddler's, and he managed it for a few years, and then ended up selling it again. And then he became a trade unionist. And then, let's see, let me make sure I get this year right. In 2022, a biographical comedy film starring Zac Efron called The Greatest Beer Run Ever came out. And Zac Efron was his character, and he, just did what Donohue did in the movie. It's on Apple Plus, so you can watch that story.
Wow.
You can watch Dad Bob Zach walk through the jungle in Vietnam, and his little, what do you call that, plaid shirt.
Yeah. Huh.
And what's crazy about this is in this poster, they did a really good job like showing what it was actually like, because they did fly over and just drop him.
Yeah,
they parachuted him
on
in
a gigantic
giant
thing
Pabst
of
can.
Pabst Red Ribbon.
Red Ribbon.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the story. You can watch that now, I think.
And you
it's
just
on
accidentally, we're not sponsored. You don't gotta
Sorry.
plug
Don't watch that movie. Don't watch that movie.
Well, we can't say don't. Like that feels like we're sponsored by the competitor.
You can watch that movie if you want.
have the ability
but what
to watch.
you should watch is Jurassic Park.
What you should watch is the true story of Chris Pratt's upbringing in Jurassic Park. That's how he was made.
Yeah, that's how he was. Chris Pratt is Adam, and they brought him back for Jurassic Park, but they didn't tell him yet. They haven't told him until
he doesn't know.
Until one of his childhood friends
doesn't even know.
I brought Adam back to life in our garage, and no
one knew. I made a dinosaur.
And it's like
smash that like button like he smashed my house.
It's like fetal position in his one car garage.
Are you talking about the dinosaur or Adam? Adam is fetal position in his car, in his garage, in the back of his Prius.
Adam's got plenty of room. He doesn't have to be crammed fetal position,
but the dinosaur is crammed in there.
The dinosaur is pushed in.
I really need this video to take off so I have income for a bigger house. Really didn't think this one through. I grew a dinosaur in my garage.
Grew faster than I thought.
Honestly, I was chasing fame, and I really outpaced myself on this.
My landlord is gonna be so mad.
Oh man, what's the pet fee on a dinosaur, dude? Anyway, this is out of hand. Never drink an energy drink again.
Mikey wants me to, so this is for you, Mikey.
You got your Blue Bull over there. Is that a Red Bull? Couldn't afford the name brand one. We're getting sponsored by the knockoff brands.
Can we do that?
Can we do?
You get sponsored by all the knockoff brands for stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try to do that. We got some work to do then. All right,
Dr. Thunder.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go do all the knockoff brands.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some. Let's get to work.
All right. Oboe off then, or whatever. I don't know what the knockoff fiddle would be. Your mom died, and I'm here to drink you through the pain. In Vietnam. Oh, you were supposed to say verse 2.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that.
Hey, thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you like this and you want more episodes, there's more somewhere around here and also clips from the show. But make sure you subscribe. Please do that. That really helps us. It makes us feel good. We look at the number and we go, oh my gosh, there's more people who like us. And it also just makes sure that you don't miss episodes in the future because we put these out every single week. And there's so many in the past, so many old episodes you can go watch. And there's an entire season of episodes that we didn't even have video for. So you can go listen to those if you'd like to as well. Thanks for being here. We will see you again next week on Things I Learned Last Night. That's this podcast, right? That's this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Things I Learned Last Night.
That's the one. All right, you're free to go.
Great.